Hey.
You know what it is?
What up? You Heard podcast, man. We starting it. We setting it off today, man. My guy Ben is having some technical difficulties out there in the country, so he'll probably pop in a little later, man. But we got a couple special guests. I got my guy CB with me.
What's happening?
He had in for me last week, man, and now he's back. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. We missed you last week, man. We had to keep up the tradition of trying to figure out if somebody else likes Spider-Man as much as I do. I'm still losing that battle, bro. There's nobody. His name is Spidey.
His name is Spidey.
Not one person has picked my boy, bro. I tried. he said Thanos, Vision, and Thor. He didn't even come close to any spider insect-like creature.
Nobody will. But all right, man, let's get into this intro. We got some special guests for you today. So let's get into it, baby.
Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben and Joe. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, including hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No. Let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now. Yeah, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying,
what are we talking about, man?
I felt
keeping it a buck. You heard?
Yeah.
Every time that makes me laugh.
Yeah, so we got our first special guest, man. Victor, I'm not even going to try to say your last name, man, because I'm not going to play myself. Go ahead. Say your last name for us.
César Vitoria.
All right.
Oh, I'm trying that. Hold on. One more time.
Right.
One more time.
César Vitoria.
César Vitoria.
Close. So like the way I said it back in college was César Vitoria, which probably sounds a lot easier.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying that. For the Twitter community, he's L. Cuban Kane. Let's give it up for my guy. Man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate
you guys having me, man.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Good, man. Can't complain. I was catching up on your podcast earlier today, so I actually definitely have a response to that Spider-Man.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right out the gate. Right out the gate,
man. Let's just knock it out.
Let's go.
I did like his response with the Vision. That was pretty clever.
Okay.
Right?
I will say that, and I'm going to preference it. I'll take Scarlet Witch, not Wanda, Scarlet Witch. And I'm going to take Iron Man because at the end of the day, he is the one that killed Thor. So, yeah. Killed Thanos. So I'm going to have to take that.
Yeah. Okay. But there's no mention of Spidey, though.
Man.
No Spidey.
I'm not going to lie.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. If you want to be. Yeah. Nah,
Every time. He don't get close, bro.
It's not a knock. Spidey serves he has a purpose.
He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
The thing is, he says it's not a knock, but then he follows it up by but he serves his little purpose.
Like my guy said, he's your neighborhood Spider-Man, man. If somebody in the neighborhood is causing an uproar, I'm gonna call Spidey, man. You know what I mean?
But if something's going on intergalactic, I'm gonna get Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Iron Man to get me out there.
I just want to, Joe. You notice he put Scarlet Witch in there, right?
He did.
You notice he didn't put Black Widow in there.
Well, she's. I mean,
I'm just saying.
I got Wanda. Yeah, I got her too. Yeah.
Oh, beast.
Definitely.
Absolute beast.
She's a problem. Absolutely. She's a problem out there. All right. So we got my guy on to talk NIL, man. We got some NIL talk to discuss because we're all confused about NIL. We don't really know what's going on. We think we know, but we really don't know. Now, I don't know if you heard in North Carolina, they just passed a bill saying high school players could start making NIL.
Wow, I actually did not hear that.
Yeah. I just heard it this morning on the news. So but what do you think about that? Man? So
like the whole thing around NIL, and it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, like with TRL or what are those MTV shows? You think you know, but you have no idea. Once you know about NIL, you got no idea right after.
Yeah.
So when you got a high school, like you already got 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and you got freshmen, sophomores, they're dealing with their NILs, they're dealing with it coming out of senior year. So technically they might even be 17. Now you're going into high school. So now you're going back to 14-year-olds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you put enough money in the front of a 14-year-old, he's going to do a lot of stuff. And technically, the way that NIL works, which is perfect segue, actually, in a sense. So NIL, as everyone knows, is like always developing. So literally, as of this May, there was an update already in Florida and NCAA. Like it's constantly changing. And so NIL, obviously, everyone knows, name, image, and likeness. The whole thing started with back in the day, one NCAA player got put on the cover, didn't get any money from it. So they're like, look, this is not right. Went through Supreme Court and all that. So essentially, like the root of it, everyone's got to understand is for the player to be able to make money off their name, image, and likeness, like, enter endorsement deals. Like I was taking notes just to make sure, because it's literally ever so often changing. And so one of the big things with the NIL is that I think everyone kind of misconstrues is the difference between like an NIL and then you have like a John Ruiz, and then you have collectives like the Gator Collective, or I think now it's called like the Gator Victorious, some
Whatever.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this other guy this guy named Dan Lambert, which is the booster, and how he does it in NILs. So when it comes to the NIL, technically the policy that still goes on, and it can't be based on your enrollment or continued enrollment in a school, which is why technically they should be doing these NIL deals after the student has signed an NLI saying that he's signed. Then it kind of opens it up. The thing is, NCAA, like we all know, doesn't really investigate anything. And you see like what happened with Jalen Rashada. Jalen Rashada, literally, just because of him, Florida had to redo their law because of that. And that's why now schools are able to work with the players to help in negotiating it.
Yeah.
And so the big thing, if you think about it, when you think about it like from the NCAA football game and things like that, and you see it from that perspective, it kind of helps explain how these contracts are given, because you're just trying to get this player money for them using his name, image, and likeness. Mm-hmm. Now it's developed in let's let him seek out money for his name, image, and likeness. But originally, what that case was, let's just get this guy compensated. Remember, these guys, the schools always put the names on the jersey, name in the game, and they wouldn't get any money, but the school would. So that was the whole thing. But now we're letting them seek it out. So a big thing that has to do with this, and this is where everyone kind of gets confused. And so I read up on a couple of the NIL deals that have been signed. One of the little caveats you'll see, and this kind of shows how, let's say someone gets an NIL deal year 1 and year 2 they transfer. Reason that NIL deal, technically, remember, it's not on his enrollment. So just because he's not enrolled in the school and he's transferring shouldn't break the NIL deal.
Right.
But what they'll do is they'll say you have to do 1 appearance per week. And you have to do something else. And if you're now transferring, let's say from Miami to an Ohio State, you're not flying down every week to fulfill that NIL commitment, meaning contract breaks, you move away, that booster, sponsor, whatever they want to call it nowadays, is no longer on the hook for you.
Okay, that makes sense. That was one of the questions I had, actually, is because when Rashada's deal leaked or however it came out, it was very contingent on appearances year by year, actually, because I didn't understand if an NIL was given year by year, or when we hear a player is given $800K, is that $800K for 4 years? Like in the NFL, we know when somebody signs, he signed for $20 million. Okay, it's really 5 years, But with the NIL, but with the NIL, it was kind of like, okay, how does this work? And then when we got that breakdown, my first question is, what happens if he transfers sophomore year? You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I guess it makes sense that if you're going to build it that way, there's some contingency. Right.
No, you froze a little bit. Yeah, there's contingencies. So like, for instance, one example that I wrote down, this guy, Dan Lambert, what he does is he has an American top team mixed martial arts gym. Yes. What he does is he'll give you a contract for all 4 years. But the way that contract works is $500 a month, which is probably like $6,000 a year.
Yeah.
Now, any month you leave, you transfer, whatnot, and you can no longer fulfill your commitment to, showing up at the gym or doing whatever you need to do to promote it, and it's part of your contract, he can cancel it. He stops paying you. And like he was saying, you don't get your full contract value.
Sure.
And so that's a big part of it. The clauses that go into these NILs that almost make it impossible to perform if you're not in that schools, at least on, in that same city. I don't know how it would work if you transfer to the same school in a different school in the same city, but we'll see when the first guy does it how that works. But that's the thing. NCAA doesn't do anything about it. I mean, Gator Collective, in theory, so like this is something that I think some people might find interesting. So there's like 3 different type of collectives that are like the general ones, and then there's different ones that are starting to come out now. So like one of them would be a marketplace collective. This kind of collective, what it does is it tries to put together the student with the businesses, and by them doing this, so there's a payment obviously that's being made that will go to like a charity on the student's behalf, and then like maybe 10% for costs. So it runs like a not-for-profit. Okay. And there's donor driven, which is kind of the one we're used to, where everyone's either doing that subscription model or you have boosters essentially washing their money to give it to the athlete. Because instead of the booster handing it to them, it's just going through the collective.
So is that like the Canes connection type thing?
So it all depends. And this is where it's tough. And this is where the NCAA, again, it's going to be tough for them, is the definition of a booster. And I actually wrote it down because just to show you how it doesn't make sense to put this. So what they do is booster individuals, agencies known by the institution, so known by the college or the athletic administration, so the AD, to participate in or be a member of promoting the institution. And essentially it keeps going into like a whole paragraph, and it makes it almost that it's up to the AD and the institution to know if that person's a booster or not. And so if that person's a booster or not, and he's giving it to the collective, his money to the collective, he's just washing the money essentially, because remember, you can't do the whole thing with NILs. You can't make it conditioned on enrollment. So he's just kind of like washing it through. And then there's another one, which this is the one I think is going to be made an example of. It's called like a dual collective. And it tries to put both of them together. But when you put both of them together, being non-for-profit, just trying to connect them and also having donors, I think NCAA, if they're going to do something, they're going to make an example out of that type of collective. We'll call it.
Oh, my gosh. So... yeah.
You guys can
is this safe to say that depending on what situation you get into, I mean, depending on the language in these contracts, anything can go. Like it can go any type of way depending on the language in these contracts.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to the terms. And again, for instance, you have Florida that's being somewhat proactive in doing the NIL deals. But the way that the NCAA talks about it when they released that thing in May after the whole Jalen Rashada thing, or I don't even know, I think it was before the Jalen Rashada thing, but around that time, what they were trying to say was if your state doesn't even have a rule, then you just have to follow NCAA's rules, which NCAA's rules, like I just read you that definition. It's ambiguous.
Yeah. So one of the things I was curious about, and hate to keep bringing him up, but he's the biggest example we have is Rashada. Mm. It was interesting to see the NCAA not step in at all, not because of the amount of money, not because of that he left for an NIL deal. It was because it's common knowledge. This isn't a rumor that he decommitted, chose another school because of the deal offered. Mm-hmm. Then they could not
produce.
They could not, produce that deal. You would think that's when the NCAA would go, hold on. You don't get to play with a kid this way. Yep. Because now he's at Arizona State, and correct me if I'm wrong, 0 NIL.
He's not. I'm sure he's getting something, but it's not.
I'm not saying if he does or not.
You know what I mean? Like, and at some point, we have to hold the universities accountable and not. Well, the kid shouldn't have made this call. He's 17. You know, at this point, you have to stop colleges from doing this. Because what's to stop a college from offering a bag to a recruit just to pull him from a school and go, well, now you can't go back there. We don't really need you, but you can't go back there.
Yeah, no,
you know, you would think that would have been the case where they would go, okay, this is where we got to step in. This is a good example for us to try to, okay, everybody slow down. This here can't happen. But it was just allowed to happen.
Absolutely. I think the one, and this is it sounds easy in theory, but actually I guess regulating it is going to be the tough part. But if you made it that no one could approach these kids at all, not after the NLI, but until they are enrolled So now you actually enrolled, you know, whether you're early enrollment or not, maybe it motivates more early enrollment. But once you're enrolled, then these guys can contact you.
Definitely.
If the company or the business or whatever contacts you before, it's kind of easy. I mean, not to get legal, but you can depose someone's email and find out real quick if someone called them, emailed them, or texted them about a dollar figure. You know, you're still gonna have the phone calls and the, you know, backdoor alley deals, but you reduce it by at least saying that until that kid signs up in that school and enrolls, you can't speak to them. So then that kid technically most of them may not know exactly how much money might come to them, because the difference between when you commit to when you sign the NLI to when you enroll, you can almost have 12 months between that time where you're just fishing around.
Sure. So explain a little bit more the rule that involves the schools now. When they say the schools can now negotiate directly with the athlete, what does that mean?
So now essentially the way that it goes is they're going to allow, before it was just that these recruits, like everyone knows, they get their agents or whatnot. Now they're allowing the schools to help the recruits in negotiating these deals with the collectives. So in a sense, I think it's literally should be called the Gators pissed off rule, because hey, we want these schools to know what deals are going on outside of here, in order for us to not be blindsided on a recruit like we just did with Jalen Rashada, because the collective was obviously talking to him. Collective obviously had a check that needed to be paid, because remember, they can pay him technically before, because it's not conditioned on whether you enroll or stay enrolled. So it's just about your name, image, and likeness. And I think it's the school just saying, I want to have a little bit more transparency in knowing what's going on outside my offices with the students I'm trying to recruit.
So it's not the schools being able to pay the athletes directly.
No, there's still no pay for play or any of that.
Because I remember when it first came out, it was that the athlete couldn't mention the school at all. Like the school couldn't be
a part of it. That's why they had that middleman over.
Right. So now the schools can be involved.
They want them to be more involved now.
But but they can't
be the ones that negotiate the deal. They can just help them in reaching a deal. So it's one of those where, you know, let's take Jalen. I don't know if it was all Gator Collective or whatnot, but let's just say it was for the point of this example. So any Gator fan, don't get mad. I'm just using it as an example. I know Rojas would probably be mad, but I don't care. So let's just say they're the ones that offered him whatever it was, $1 million. And now the school is trying to actively recruit him. If they are able to say, okay, this kid's already been approached by a school or by a business or a collective, let me be aware that this collective or business is negotiating a deal with this student, so that way I know what he is looking for, incentivized by, what is something that if it falls through, I know it's going to happen and I can maybe hedge my bet on. And again, it's the whole thing that happened with Jalen was the Gators were kind of blindsided because he was down. It's just the fact that the money wasn't there. He goes, no, I'm out of here. I guess probably thinking bad omen. If you can't even make the first check, what's going to happen? And he's trying to secure the bag. I get it. All these kids are coming out. You know, they're trying to take care of their families. So I think it's just more the schools wanting to be aware of what might be a blind side to them.
That makes sense, because like Joe, when it first came out, it read like, hold on, what? That could get nasty if the schools can just start give my man's this like that
you're going back to boosters almost.
Exactly. So a question I have, and it's more of a hypothetical, because something you said, it made a light bulb go off for me. I think there is something to waiting till they're enrolled. I think that is a fantastic idea, and here's why. Let's say you're the #1 recruit in the nation. You don't even got to be a quarterback, because someone's going to be in our comments saying, why do you keep saying him? It's just the biggest example we have, guys.
You mean the one in Texas?
Let's say you're the #1 defensive end, and you're the #1 recruit in your class next year, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll make a fake. El Valley State gives you $2 million to commit and a Benz, right?
The university, or is El Valley State a business?
It's a collective. It's a collective that on behalf of El Valley State says, we want to give Smith $2 million and a Benz, right?
When you're saying to commit, That's illegal too, right?
Right,
okay, well, we just want to give it to him.
If you commit, we're gonna give you $2 million. If you commit to us,
well, here's the thing. If they can't say that, all they can say is we want to sign you to an NIL deal as a collective.
Absolutely.
Not based on your, because they can't say based on your commitment, but so they'll say, well, we want to sign Smith to a NIL deal, $2 million and a Bentley, right? And let's say he's not an early enrollee, right? And then the portal opens up, or maybe before the portal, he decides, I don't know if I want to go there anymore. Or before signing day, he decides, I don't want to go anymore. He's been driving the Benz his whole second half of his senior year. And then he decides, I don't want to go to El Valley State. I want to go to El Valley Tech.
Yeah.
Is he now going to be sued for driving that Benz for 6 months and for spending some of that money that may have, you know what I mean? Because it can't be, it's not supposed to be contingent on committing.
Right.
But once a 17-year-old burns these grown men, things will get ugly.
So if I'm that grown man giving him that deal, one of the things I'm doing, and kind of to give it explain it in a sense that a lot of people can understand, when you sign up, when you get hired by a new company, let's say you're a sought after recruit, they give you usually like a signing bonus. Signing bonus is usually they're saying that so long as you're working here for a year, you know, and you're fine, you're going to keep it. If not, you have to pay it back. Let's use that kind of as an example. So they gave him the Benz, and now they say, so long as you fulfill your contractual requirements with us for the next year, then you can keep the Benz. If you don't, you have to return it minus wear and tear, we'll call it. That way they're also, because they also have a real fine line, because they want to be strict and get their money's worth, but they also don't want to be that, you know, over the top bully, because then everyone's going to make a scene out of it, and then they're going to get bad publicity for essentially just trying to offer someone a deal. So they have a fine line also to play. So there they'll just say, you know, we'll take the Benz back if you decide not to end up enrolling here, which remember, it's not about the end of enrolling, but if you just can't fulfill your commitments, and then we'll make your commitments that you have to do something once per week or once per week and a half in the city, on campus, things like that, where if you go away, you can't do it. And if you're there, it's not a big requirement. Maybe you have to be there for like an hour and a half and, you know, whatever.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So are these back and forth negotiations? Is this like
that's why they let them have that's why they let them have the agents in the first place, because they were like, dude, to have this, let's say again, 17-year-old kid, even like what's his name that jumped up a class and we were about to get him Stafford, I think. No, I wasn't wrong. It was Robert
Antoine Jackson.
Yeah, we was just talking about
we was just talking about him off camera.
You got a 16-year-old negotiating a deal. So that's why they let them get agents to help fulfill it. And it doesn't have to necessarily be an agent. I'm pretty sure like the definition of it is an agency or a professional services. So, you know, you can get an attorney, you can get an agent, you can get whatever.
Is that required or no?
It's not.
See, the NCAA, that they should require that.
That may need to be required because you could bamboozle a kid. If it's not required, you could bamboozle a kid. Like, come on, kid, don't get a middleman involved. You know, you want to be a king your whole life. Why are you gonna get a lawyer involved? He want to take his 5%. You can bamboozle someone who may not have the knowledge and the wherewithal. May not, you know, it could be somebody's parents that don't know nothing about any of this. You know what I mean? Like 100%. Sometimes we get kids who you hear their draft story, their parents don't know nothing about football. You know, everyone in their family did X, Y, and Z. It just so happens that he's 6'7". So now he balls, but now, you know, a school is offering you this and this, and mom's probably thinking, it all sounds good, you know?
Yeah, and that's the part. So technically you're supposed to hedge it, because if you're under 18, you're a minor, so you can't sign a contract without your parent. But like you're saying, if the parent just doesn't know anything or doesn't know better, you know, God bless them, they just didn't have the experience to learn, then you're facing that position. The only thing that happens when you say that they're required to get an agent, now you're almost creating a marketplace for these agents to exploit these young individuals for their own will and need. So it's a real fine line, because you also can say maybe the NCAA could create like a non-for-profit, you know, pro bono community type thing. But then you're going to have, you know, people questioning whether the NCAA is being NCAA with how they don't find anyone, but then Reese has steak dinners and he gets fined, you know, like, so it's a fine line. How do you know how to really like go on that?
And then you have the issue where someone's going to say, well, you know, Saban's going to get a word into whatever that that organization is that represents all the players. You know, the bigger schools are they're gonna get a word in with somebody or have some influence, because if you're working pro bono when you start out, you don't want to keep doing that, you know. So I can promise you a little, say we got a great law school, you know. Yeah. We have a great law school, but we need this 5-star kid.
Yep, exactly.
Question. So these guys are required to pay taxes on this, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Florida, you only have to pay national. We don't have state tax down here.
Right. Don't have state taxes in Florida. Right. So it's income. Essentially, it's income. It's just like having a regular job.
Yep, exactly. Just like having a regular job. That's interesting. Right. You have like you see in John Ree's I don't know which podcast it is that they used to have Life while they do the commercials, but like you see different players come out in different John Ree's commercials. Sure, they just appeared on set one day, did their thing, and that's kind of the way it goes. Is just put little requirements in there so that they can earn their money. We all know the reason NIL is just trying to have a way to wash throwing money at these kids. Yeah. In theory, it's great because we get to compensate them now for, you know, them being superstars that they are. Yeah. But in reality, it's let's just let them earn as much money as they can now, because, you know, especially now in this day and age with injuries and stuff, let them earn as much as they can before maybe they possibly have a season-ending career. Yeah. Take care of themselves for the next 10 years while they figure out what to do after football.
Yeah, I hope these guys are investing their money correctly, man, and they have the right people in their corners, man. CB, you got any more questions, man? We're gonna get Victor. I want to take all your
I do have one more for you, because and everything you've given us great insight today. By the way, it was such a cloudy situation that it was hard to even form questions you had about it.
Yeah.
But then as you start to talk, I'm going, oh, that is kind of a question I had. Oh, there we go. That's answered. And then so one of the questions I had about NIL overall, as it pertains kind of to the portal and fifth-year seniors, do you think you're going to see a shift in the fourth-year senior or fifth-year senior? Because let's take a quarterback at a smaller school where you're a big man on campus, right? Mm-hmm. You may leave your junior year because you've put up the numbers and you're good to go. Case Keenum back in the day.
Okay.
Does Case Keenum leave his junior year and go into the NFL and be selected in the 5th round? Or does his school say, I have another $1 million for you if you come back for one more year? And he knows, well, I'm 5'10", I'm a mid-round pick, whether I ball out this year or not. You think you're going to see some of those college football stars that may not have 1st, 2nd, 3rd round grades come back for that 4th year, which is going to affect recruiting if you've got 4th-year seniors and 5th-year seniors? Mm-hmm. I was wondering, is there going to be a domino effect? You look at it from even look at the Miami basketball team or the women's basketball team with the Cavenders, and it was, well, you try to get them to come back. But if they come back, that's a sophomore that's not playing again next year. That's an incoming freshman that may not have a spot. How do you see that affecting not just recruiting, but roster building in the future?
So I can see maybe a slight uptick in the 5th-year senior, but I wouldn't say as much as many might think, because when it comes down to it, like, for instance, you have, let's say, like you're saying, that borderline 3rd round, 4th round, or 3rd round guy. If he comes back for another season, he can get injured. He can have something happen to him, and then he can really lose the big bag, which at the end of the day, all these kids know the real big bag is in the NFL. This is just something to get you going, you know, teach you a little bit about it, but the bag's over there. So those guys that are on that borderline, if they have any prior injury, even if it's their knee or something like that, they might say, no, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not going to do that. I think the ones you're going to have more are the guys that may need to finish out their academics. They know they're not going to go to the NFL. So they're just trying to really, you know, live it up, call it Buddy. What was his name from, remember the Titans, Buddy Lassick, where he's like, cool, I might as well hit someone. I think you're going to have a couple of those that stick around, earn a little bit more money, hang out, play football. And then you're going to have a couple guys that maybe want to get their draft stock a little higher while making money. They can risk it. But I don't see too many of the top caliber guys, round 1 and 2, even having that play a factor in there, just because, I mean, you think about it, what you're going to get, because remember, these contracts, they say a year. And I'm here, Joe was saying, contract could say a year, but in reality, it might be broken up into months and weeks, and you might not actually get that full amount. Yeah. So it might not actually be worth it for some of these guys to come back for, half the year, 25 weeks or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So it's all in the language, just like any contract. You know what I mean? You can negotiate what's in that contract. You can change the language up. Yeah. So it's very important. I would think it's vital to have a lawyer or someone who can definitely look over these. Yeah.
100%. You don't need to be sifting through these kind of contracts yourself. You're worried about ball, man. You know what I mean? When you're coming out of high school, you're worried about ball and making. I mean, just where you're going to commit is a huge decision for a young man. You know, all that other stuff that's noise at the end of the day. Yep. So I think you do need representation. You need somebody to handle some of that noise for you.
Yeah, and if I even had to give advice when it came to that to any recruit, it'd be, because I understand the whole thing. If you don't want to get an agent because that's 10%, then you get the other guy that's another 5%. But I would say that it's worth it to get at least one of them. Negotiate. Everything's negotiable. Negotiate what percentages, but get someone to look it over, because what you might think you might be saving X amount of money, you might double that in losses if you sign the wrong contract.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, there you go.
It's always better to pay up front than to pay at the end.
Absolutely. Have you done any NIL negotiations?
I looked over a couple because some of my buddies do it. They review these contracts for these student athletes. They're part of a big law firm. But no, I do pretty much just real estate and corporate law. But man, with college football and NIL, I couldn't help but go down a rabbit hole and figure it all out.
Okay.
We're glad you did. We are happy you did, my friend. We are blessed.
Victor, man, next time I come down, man, listen, man, I'm gonna be in your inbox. We gotta link up, man. And
super down.
Man. Yeah. You going to game? What game? Do you go to every game?
Every game, season ticket holder.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. So I'll see you.
Absolutely, man. We gotta
travel as well. Do you come
I'll do one traveled game a year. So last year we did Texas A&M. This year we haven't picked yet.
Okay, come on, man. Come up to North Carolina, man.
Oh man,
we were talking about that too, man. I think we gotta make that happen.
Yeah, true. Yep, Clemson.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. Hell yeah. Okay.
Hell yeah. I'm down to link up with you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. Yo, we appreciate you taking the time out, man. Yes, time is very important, man. So we appreciate you taking that time out, man. We can't get the time back. So thank you very much for doing this, man.
No, of course, man.
Appreciate you.
Love hearing you guys. Keep it up, man. Honestly, your podcast brings a smile on my face every day, whether it's you, Ben, the hat, or whatever's going on. And this thing is it brings a smile on my face. I know Chalupa's laughing because we're always cracking up on the sidelines about it before.
I can't stop every time I see it. Every time I see it.
I mean, at one point I was keeping a track on how many times Ben was touching his hat. He was just doing it up and down.
He just kept doing it.
All right, how many times are you going to do it right now?
Yeah, man, definitely.
Appreciate you guys, man. Have a great night, man, and keep rocking, bro. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Take it easy.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, that was dope.
That was awesome. That was super insightful, man. I've been waiting for her. We good?
Yeah, no doubt, man. That was dope, man. Let's go into this Canesware ad real quick.
Let's go.
2 more guests coming on. Let's go to Canesware real quick. You see the banner?
Ooh, that's fire!
We gotta get CB a banner, man.
I gotta get one.
Yeah, let's go. All right.
Welcome to Canesware. Family owned and operated since 2010. Canesware has all latest merchandise for the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Inter Miami Soccer, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive just south of I-595 or online at Canesware.com. Canesware, the spot Miami fans shop.
Yeah. Canesware, man. Please, man, don't forget, go to Canesware, man, Canesware.com. Become a loyalty member, man. You'll get points. You'll get money, percentages off your purchases and deals and everything, man. Canesware, family owned and operated, man. That's my spot, man. And they're opening up a bigger location. Yes.
Number 2.
Bigger location. Yes. It's still going to be in the same plaza, It's just a bigger location. So that's the spot right there, man.
And you got to go for, you see the stuff in my background. It's from Canesware. You see the jersey is from Canesware. There's always a sale. There's always new merchandise. Like I was on there the other day because they got this 3D Sebastian that I wanted to get. So I was like, man, I'm about to buy. I told myself I'm just going to Canesware for this. I was like, I'm only going for the Sebastian thing.
Sebastian.
5 shirts later, bro.
Yeah.
My cart's full. And here's the thing. I just hit boom. I was like, I don't care. It's because there's 2 things with Canesware. Quality is going to be great and delivery is going to be quick. I ordered it Monday night. I guarantee y'all, right after this podcast is over, I'm going to open that door. That package is going to be there. Yeah, man. And I live here and I live in Texas. So if you're wondering, oh, is it because they live in Florida? No, I live in Texas.
And
I order on Monday. And it's here by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. And that's not with the express shipping or anything. And if you need something for an event, if you're about to go to a game, if you're like, man, I need a jersey for the game, it's my first Canes game, DM Canesware when you order it. More than likely, they'll try to work with you to try to get what you need. Me and Steph were going to the Final Four, so I wanted to get a couple jerseys. I want to get an Omer jersey and something else. I was like, man, even with the Express, it's not going to get here. And I didn't even at them. I just tweeted that. It was before I was on the pod. He hit me. Hey, when do you need it by? Where are you? What was the order number? I told him the order number. He was like, all right, game is blah, blah, blah. It's going to be there Wednesday just in case it don't fit. I was like, do I need to update the shipping? He was like, no, if this ever happens, you just hit us. Yes. So, you know, I'm not just saying that because they're the sponsor of the show. Trust me, man, they are a great company to not only purchase things from, but the customer service and the care side of it. It's second to none, man. It really is.
They're very personable, man. And like I've mentioned before, they've always treated me and my family spectacular, man. You know what I mean? So yes, Brett and Jeff, man. Yes.
Yeah, Brett the man. I missed out on one of the Final Four shirts, and he was like, what's your size? Because people going to return them. So when they come in, I was like, this dude is the man.
Yup. Did we get any questions today, man? I don't even know what's going on.
I got something I wanted to ask you about because you missed the last episode and we didn't get to talk about the draft at all. We had a couple Canes drafted.
Oh, hold on.
Uh-oh.
We got some poppins.
We're gonna have to put that on hold because our boys are here.
Luna.
All right. For those of you,
how you guys doing?
Good.
Yes, I want to go ahead and introduce Kolby and Riply Luna. They are the 2023 Miami Hurricane commits out of Idaho. Both of them are 3-sport athletes. When I read these numbers to you, you're going to think I'm joking, and I promise you I'm not. You can look them up for yourself. Yep. Actually, before I do, I don't know how 2 people did all this. We're going to get to that. So let's start with Ripley, who is the quarterback and the safety. I said that right. He plays quarterback and safety. As a senior, 2,700 yards, 36 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. That touchdown to interception ratio is crazy. Then he adds 720 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. Now, here's the impressive thing. This is the quarterback. And on defense, 67 total tackles, 3 interceptions. He almost picked off more passes than he threw. That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy. Yep. And if you're thinking that's 1 year of statistics, it's not. His junior year, another 2,500 year, 37 touchdowns to 6 INTs. Another efficient year with numbers that look like I was playing NCAA 10. Also, Hooper, baseball player, pitcher, and first base. There was not a Mr. Idaho. There were 2 Mr. Idahos. And it continues to get impressive when you talk about Kolby. Kolby plays receiver and corner, also plays both ways. As a senior, he had 95 catches. Now, I know his brother throws to him, so you're thinking it's because his brother throws to him. Nah, put that film on. That boy bad. It's not just because his brother throwing to him. 95 catches, 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns. also a two-way player, 29 tackles, 7 INTs, 7 INTs, and 2 fumble recoveries. Also plays baseball, basketball. I want to welcome the Luna brothers to the You Heard Pod. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let's get it again. How you guys doing, man?
We're good. Just got out of track and came on home.
Nice.
My bad. Which one is athletes? It's 4 sport athletes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Which one is Ripley? Which one is Kolby?
I'm Ripley, the quarterback. I'm Kolby, the receiver.
Okay. All right. Cool. Ripley, you're a safety. You're not a quarterback. You're a safety, man.
Look, you play quarterback and have 70 tackles. You do,
man. I love you. Yeah, I love both, man. But I was watching your defensive highlights. I was like, man, listen, let's get this guy back there, man. So, what do you like playing better, Ripley?
I really like both sides of the ball, to be honest, but like the control aspect of the quarterback and get the ball every play. Like I make my own decisions, my own reads. Sure. I just feel like I'm in control of the game, you know?
Yeah. But
like obviously I see it from both sides. Like I am a quarterback, so I see what other quarterbacks are seing.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's like it's a mind game. Like I love both sides. But I have to say quarterback just because I like the control aspect, but I really like both.
Okay. Same with you. Same question, Kolby. What about you?
I think I enjoy offense a little more, but like I love being physical. And if you guys have watched my tape, I'm a pretty physical runner. Everything when I get the ball, I like to hit people. So I'd say I'm more offensive, like prone to do it. But like I have a.
You good? We got you. Yeah.
I have a pretty good defensive mind as well. I just like to hit and I like to be physical. I like to impose my will on people. So. If I had asked to answer that question, though, I'd probably say offense. I like receiver a little more.
Okay, cool.
Was it when you guys started playing defense a little bit more, like at the higher level on varsity, your junior and senior year? Did you feel like that made it easier for you on offense, Kolby? Did you feel like now I understand what a DB is looking for? I know how to hide my hips a little bit. I know not to throw my arms up too early. And Ripley as well. Did that help you process a little bit quicker back there, knowing? I know what these safeties are trying to key on. So now I know how to give them the old okey doke.
Yeah, for sure. Like, especially like mentally, like it was just predicting stuff. Like no one was coming, but like also come with it like fatigue. Like you're playing
definitely.
I mean, twice as many plays is like typical, you know? Yeah. So like that definitely kicks in, but like you get used to it obviously. But yeah, like as just like from a knowledge standpoint, like predicting the plays, like just knowing what's up, I'd say for sure, yeah. Definitely like keys in there for sure. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, it helps a lot. Reading hips, reading positions, reading coverages, anything like that. Once you get a more of a defensive setup or a defensive understanding in your mind, definitely makes it a lot easier to execute on offense. But I mean, my senior year, I kind of just attack coverages more because I had 3 guys on me usually every game. So it was they'd stack 2 safeties or have 2 on me and a safety over the top. So I just had to learn to attack the coverages and really study the film who we're playing. It wasn't really reading as much because there were so many, like, you know, different coverages and certain things teams had to do around me. So I would say it definitely helped still on defense in the earlier years, but my senior year, it was kind of just studying the personal game film of the team we're playing mainly.
Yeah. Have you guys been able to watch or see high school play outside of your state? Like, have you seen California high school play, Florida high school play, Texas?
Yeah.
And how does it compare to where you guys are at?
There've been like a lot of showcases too, like just out of state, like went and seen other talents and stuff. And I mean, football is football. It's like speed, more physical at times. Like there's just athletes everywhere anyways. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Football's football, and like there's good players everywhere, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, there's like more in some states, more in some areas, like stuff like that. But yeah. For sure. We also played in a blue and gray All-American game in Texas. So we played kids from every state. I'm pretty sure there was a kid from everywhere except like Maine and Connecticut or something. But there were kids from everywhere. And Ripley got offensive MVP and everything. And I had a touchdown, like 75 yards. So, I mean, definitely the state competition is a little different in the team aspect. But, I mean, I think from what we've seen in showcases and everything, we've stacked up pretty well according to, like, positions and everything.
So basically, wherever you go, you're gonna bust ass. It doesn't.
Yeah,
we're gonna work hard. That's
what he just said, ladies and gentlemen, is it don't matter who line up against him.
That's what I'm talking about.
He doesn't care.
That's how it's supposed to be.
To that end, and you can see it on your huddle when you watch that you were forced to beat double teams quite a bit, and you did. How does that work with both of you? Because your catches did go up your senior year, even with the additional coverage. Is there times when the offense is stagnant and you pull Ripley aside and you're like, bro, I don't care what they're doing out there. I said post corner. I see the safety. I see the corner, post corner. Do y'all have those moments where it's like, hey, I don't care what he's doing out there?
Definitely. We had some drop calls. Like if they dropped a certain coverage, like when he's in his cadence or something, a quick call or a quick check, anything like that. We would just pick on a ton of defenses because like they couldn't necessarily lock us down, our connection down. You know, it was kind of something that was always there no matter who we played. Like we played up quite a few schools. We played a couple 4A schools with like a couple thousand kids in it and stuff. So we played some big schools, still torched them pretty good. But it was it was definitely something to get used to. My junior year I was double teamed a little bit, but this year it was like every play there was at least 2 or 3 guys on me. So we had to get used to it, but we worked through a lot of coverages and we'd find routes to pick on teams, whatever coverage they were running and everything. So we just had to figure it out, had a lot of film study and everything to decide what would be the most effective way to take care of a defense. But there was definitely a lot of calls and certain things that we had to get through to, get to the highest level of being to where our connection could be,
Yeah,
for sure. Dope. They could always take a lot away, but they couldn't take everything away. Like whether or not they're playing up, back, like there was always something. So it was really just picking on what they gave us and then like making them change up and give us what we wanted. So
sure. I don't know how often you guys are on Twitter or pay attention to what's going on Twitter, but there's a lot of debate around stars,
definitely,
which is ridiculous to me. But when you guys see your star rating, right? You're on 247, you see you're a 2-star or what have you. What do you guys think about that? Like, is that motivation, or do you like kind of not pay attention to it?
I take it with a grain of salt. Like it's there. It's a rating. Like those people are professionals. They see a lot of kids, a lot of athletes, like that's their job, So like, I don't know. I don't put too much mind towards it. Like it's cool. I'm a 2-star. I think I'm better than that. It is what it is. Right. I can't make my own rating. Right. But like, it matters to a certain extent, but like I wouldn't take it with too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think also it kind of agree with him. Like it matters. Everyone wants to be a 5-star, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing where you're playing and we're happy to be where we're at. We love the location we decided with, obviously go Canes, that's where it's a great program. That's where we want to be. So we're pretty excited about that. I think the star rating thing, you're still an athlete. If you make plays, you make plays. If you're good, you're good, So I've done MVPs and like certain camps where we're 4 stars and 5 stars and stuff. Like it just is what it is. And the analysts are going to see it the way they see it. And I've heard them say like, you're a California 4-star, but you're in Idaho too. It's like, I think what they say is like, I got the talent to be at that level, but I'm from Idaho. So, it is what it is. But I look at it as the motivation to get better and just take what they give me and I'll prove them all wrong. It is what it is.
Love it.
It's already there.
Love it.
And overall exposure up in like Idaho, North Idaho, like up in these states it's just different. It's like not a mecca of any sort. You know what I'm saying? Like there's athletes, but it's not like there's a sole focus over here, like, like Texas, Florida, stuff like that.
Yeah.
To that end, what made you guys choose the University of Miami? Obviously, being from Idaho, the first thing that popped into my head, because the first one I watched was Kolby. It was I heard your name on a podcast, and I was like, well, we got a new commit, and he's 95 catches last year. What? 95? All right. I don't care how he got there. 95 catches. I'm watching this kid. So I'm starting to watch your tape, and I'm thinking, all right, first off, who's throwing to him? Second off, what? Like, how was that journey going from high school standouts to the day when you guys both decided we will be Canes? Tell us what was that like? Because for a lot of people, we don't know what that process is like. That's a huge decision for you guys. I would imagine there was a conversation between both of you where, hey, do we split up? Do we go together? Was it with the kind of offense they ran? How was that process for both of you guys to end up saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take my talents down to Miami?
Yeah, so like pretty early on, like in our recruiting process, we decided we wanted to stay together and play together, like kind of regardless. And then obviously like the schemes and stuff played in a little bit. Really like the coaching staff, overall feel when we made it down. Like, I mean, we took a lot of visits, so it was really just like taking in all those, like talking to my parents. They went to a lot of them, seeing what they thought. Like obviously education, because that's what you're there for, is like getting a good education and stuff, setting yourself up for life. And I mean, really just taking in everything into account. Like if football went away tomorrow, where would you enjoy yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like obviously Miami's a pretty easy place to enjoy. Like it's a vacation every day. You work, but you know what I'm saying? Like sunny and all that. Yeah. So that had a big thing to do with it. And obviously just like the staff, like we really love the staff. Like they're super cool. Yeah. Super like easy guys to get along with, like talkative. Showed their appreciation towards you, like they really wanted you. So it was nice. Like we really enjoyed that, and then like obviously every other aspect came into it as well. Cool. Yeah, for sure. I think it was a pretty in-depth process. We visited a ton of places. Like we visited Pac-12, ACC, like just everybody we could. We checked everybody out. Mountain West, like we checked everybody out that had some interest. We ended up, I think, with like 23 offers that offer us both. So we had quite a few talks to go through and narrow it down. And then we ended up, our last three were like Boise State, Miami, and Oregon was our last three. And then we just decided, Miami just felt right, and it was like the right place to be. We really love that place calling system. Like we think it's great. Like it plays into our strengths really well. Yeah. And like he was saying, like the coaching staff, like they make you feel just so wanted and appreciated. So we felt a good vibe about that, so we ended up pulling the trigger on it, and we haven't regretted that since. We think we've made the greatest decision, and it's official now. So we're just ready to go, and we're excited and just really happy with our decision, what we decided with,
That's dope. Shout out to the recruiting staff.
Hey, I don't want to hear no talk about Mario. He went and got the two best players from Idaho. Okay, that man was it a shock to you guys? Because I would imagine you guys probably had Miami on your radar, but did you ever think like Mario Cristobal is gonna make his way to talk to us up here?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. Like I don't know, it's a dream for sure. But I mean, we're in Idaho. Like they just don't. Like you just don't hear about Miami recruiting in Idaho, or really the ACC in general. So, like to get a text from them and stuff, get on the phone, like it was pretty surreal and like not something like I didn't expect it, obviously, but like, it's something I think I worked for and stuff. So like, I think our goal was always Oregon, and then obviously like every kid wants to play for Miami. Like that's just the history of the school, just everything about it. It's a great place to be. Canes football has always been legit, so. We've always looked at that, but really Boise State, Oregon, Montana, all that stuff, it was kind of local. We really wanted to play for them one day, but then Miami hit us up in September, and we're like, wow. So we've had our eye on the prize of that ever since. We obviously went down over Thanksgiving break and then went down again 2 weeks ago, and it's it's been the coolest thing to really see our process. And we live in a town that's 5,000 people.
Oh wow!
And so it's really small, but. So when people hear that we're going to play football in Miami, it's everyone just loses it. It's really cool to give this certain experience to the people we've been around our whole life, and it was important to us to treat everybody and show everybody how grateful we are for them being a part of the process the whole time. So we've really all the support and all the support we've gotten, we've taken advantage of that and really just show all of our appreciation and stuff. So. The whole process was really fun, and it was a good time. But to be signed and to be locked in, it's a great feeling. We focus on other sports and school and get that over with and everything. So we're pretty excited. It was a good decision, and we're ready to go. Yeah, definitely excited for sure.
No doubt. And you'll have the whole city rooting for you.
Yep.
That's
gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's incredible, man.
Everyone's been so supportive and stuff, and so interested. So it's been really cool. There's a ton of Canes here around the valley now, so it's pretty sweet.
So I would imagine the day you guys signed, that had to be an awesome day for the school, for the city. Tell us what that was like.
Yeah, so we signed 2 months ago. Yeah, 2 months ago maybe. Like and I mean, everybody kind of knew about it. And then we had like our signing at our school, and then like ended up in the newspapers. Like I get questions daily about like people asking, like congratulating me and stuff. So it's cool. Like even still today, like people I'm seeing since then that, you know, telling me and stuff. So like it's cool that they're like keeping up and like happy for me and stuff. So I really appreciate it, obviously. And
yeah, I mean, the sports in our town have always been like good, you know, just good, nothing crazy. And like we've had obviously a lot of fun playing for sports. You know, we really enjoy playing for the Valley and everything. So we thought it was important, you know, to make everybody a part of it and give everybody, you know, appreciation for it. So the day we signed, like we had a ton of people there. It was awesome. Everyone knew about it. It was in the front page of the paper. You know, the headline was "You can't spell Luna without the U."
Let's go!
That's crazy.
Shout out Josh McDonald for that.
Somebody on the edit for this.
We gotta get shirts. Yeah, we gotta get.
When we get off this, I'm hitting up somebody I know. That is awesome.
Yeah, he did pretty good. He's a social news press lead editor. His name's Josh McDonald. He came up with that right away after we told him we committed, and he was pretty hyped.
That's dope. What do you and I would imagine visiting the university and seeing how really intimate the campus is and how small the school is.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, kind of helped you make up your mind as well, because it's not as big as people think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like class sizes and stuff were like super like important and stuff, like getting a firsthand like education, all that. And obviously the campus is super nice, you know, like everything's top notch, facilities, all that. And then like class size and stuff was big. So we're really like happy to see that, like not big auditorium style. It's like all in person. Right. You get to know your teachers and stuff, kind of similar to high school, like how it is now.
Kind of similar. What are you guys majoring in?
Business. We're both in business.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of another thing we're looking at. Great business school, super small class size. You know, you can have a relationship with the teachers because obviously, student athlete, we're students first. You know, so we really looked into the education part, and it's obviously everything you could want as a business major. You know, so that was obviously something we paid a lot of attention to. And then the fan base of Miami is unreal. So that was another thing that like kind of won our hearts pretty quick, is the love they showed right away. So definitely some important things were the business factor and the schooling, obviously.
Sure.
So a lot of times when you get a recruit that commits, everyone wants to ask me, who do you comp them to? Who do you comp them to? And I like to tell people I don't like to comp anyone to anyone, because Kolby is the first Kolby Luna. Ripley is the first Ripley Luna. Right. He's not the second anybody. But if there's someone that you guys watch to try to steal from or try to model your game after, is there a player that you guys like to study either individually or together that you like to maybe lean on some of their habits, steal from him, or go, oh, I like the way he moves in and out of his breaks, I'm going to incorporate that? Is there somebody you guys like to study?
Yeah, I've definitely always – so Cooper Kupp, he played at Eastern Washington, and so it's only an hour away from us. We went on a visit there a little bit ago as well during our recruiting visits and stuff, but he played at Eastern Washington. Obviously, everybody knows who Cooper Kupp is, but he's my height. He weighs a little less than me, but it's like I love his game. He's just an elite route runner, great hands. He's not like anything crazy off the field. He doesn't do anything stupid over the media. You know, he's just a very to himself guy, very grateful. And I just love the way he plays. He plays with just such a good demeanor, and he's a solid person, solid dude. So I would say my model, my game off of Cooper Kupp. But I mean, it's really tough to say. I've met had a lot of receivers over the years that I really enjoy, and I think I'm working into kind of a Justin Jefferson guy. I got a jersey signed by him just a couple months ago. So I've been working into him as well. He's pretty awesome to watch. So I'd say either Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson.
So we gritty in first touch. I don't care if it's spring. I don't care. Yeah. I need a gritty, and I need somebody to send me the video.
I got you.
And what about you?
I would have to go with just obviously offensive scheme style, like heavy runner, passes still, like Lamar Jackson, you know, like does it both. Just because like heavy RPO, like gives them the ability to run, also to pass it. I'd say I'm a pass first, but I obviously run it a lot for my stats and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like I'm obviously not afraid to run, neither is he. So I'd have to go with Lamar just because he can do it both.
One of the more impressive things about your ground game is your ability to throw on the run.
Yeah.
A lot of guys like to throw on the run. A lot of times, Kolby knows the ball sails quite a bit when guys throw on the run, or they try to throw too hard, they release late, and it's in the dirt. Right. Is that something that's been natural to you, or is that something you tried to perfect because Kolby is fighting double coverage out there? So sometimes you may have to escape, give him some more time to work to get open, or is that something that, because you're an athlete, just has always been really natural for you?
Yeah, it's like even since like my youth football days, like I've always thrown on the run. We've done a lot of like rollout stuff like that, get me out of the pocket, because our line breaks down occasionally, like just like everybody does, but just to get me out of there, extend plays. It's like obviously I've been throwing on the run like for a long time, and it's just gotten better like over the years. So like something I practice a lot too, like just because you got to be ready for it. So like we'll be out throwing, and I'm always on the run, just trying to like style it in and just get me accurate. And this is a really big piece of like extending plays, makes something out of nothing, you know. Give the team
when do you guys report?
I think moving is like the 18th of June. So we'll leave you the 16th or the 17th. Move in the 18th.
Nice. So Idaho to Miami. I mean, have you gone shopping? Have you? Where you gonna keep all your winter clothes? Like,
I mean, I got shorts. I need more. But
just a little bit.
I got shorts. So, I mean,
yeah.
I definitely got to do some shopping, but I got some of it.
I think our style is pretty, adapted to Miami type and everything. So I mean, I don't think the style is an issue, but I mean, definitely more shorts, less sweats. Up here, it's we get below freezing for 6 months of the year, so it's like we got to get prepared for the heat, But we do like the sun. I mean, the sun's nice. Everyone loves the sun, so we do enjoy the sun. So we'll get down there and get the shorts on and everything,
Yeah, all you need is slides, shorts, and tank tops. That's all you need.
That's true.
Buy a bunch of tank tops, slides, and you good, man. You good.
They don't get all from the school.
Yeah, you get all the gear.
It's gonna be
a closet full of gear.
You have a closet full of gear. So something I like to ask any football player, whether it's a Pop Warner football player, a college athlete, high school, what is your why? We all have a reason why we do what we do, whether you're a banker, a football player, basketball player. There is something that drives you, whether that's mom, pop. I watched football when I was 4 and I wanted to be that guy. What is it that drives you? Like if you were to ask, what's your why? What is your why?
I'd say my why is just like my family, my friends, like being in such a small community. It's like everyone's so close. Like I feel like everybody, just like they feel as much as they've been a part of my journey, they've all been a part of my journey. I've held every relationship I've earned and learned over the years, like really close and really dear to me. So I would say my why is just all the people back home, the city. I just want to do what I can to make their experience and like my journey with them even more special. So I'd say my why is for them. But I mean, there's so many other reasons. Just the game in general. I love football. Like it's my favorite thing in the world. So I'd say my first why is just the love for the game, but close second would have to be just the people, my friends, my family, my parents, my grandparents, my coaches. Dan Davidian and Tim Kimberling, they've been coaching me for forever, and I love them. They really sparked my love for the game. They noticed my potential very early and just started working with me, and I owe them a lot to the position I am. There's a lot of other coaches obviously along the way that have helped, but I would say my 2-man football coaches have really pushed me to be where I'm at. My friends, my family, my grandparents, just everybody that I've had a relationship with over the years, I owe a big thanks to, and I'd say they are my why.
Sure. What about you, Rip?
Yeah, I'd say for me, like my older brother, he played quarterback first, actually. So I was like, dude, I want to be a quarterback, So yeah, obviously that, and then just overall support, like that family you build, but like no other sports like it, like the physicality, the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it's just easy to play football. Like you just want to play. So I'd say like just overall enjoyment of the game, the support I get, like just Friday nights having people out, like the band's playing, the lights are on, like there's just nothing like it.
Right? That's electric.
Really right.
It's really impose your will on somebody, and like, I mean, it's all in your hands, especially as a quarterback. Like I make my own decisions, so I'd say that for sure. Like just overall the game really, and just the support I get from it, and watching my whole life, and just growing up and like loving it.
Yeah. Who's older?
I am. Yes.
I was about to say that.
You saw how quick that was? Did you see how quick that was?
Right.
Did you see how quick that was?
Yeah.
It's me.
It's me.
Y'all know.
It's me. Relax, buddy. It's me.
Always love that. That's why he's the quarterback. He's got that wisdom.
I was gonna say that makes so much sense at the quarterback. Yeah. Is there times when you've had to calm him down in games because you're the quarterback, the leader of the team, the older brother? Yeah. Is there times when you had to tell him, I gotta let other people cook? Like, he's like, no, there's no calm.
I mean, he wants to
welcome this way.
No, I make sure he knows I was open. So
every time I'm open.
Yeah. I always tell him 15's always open, and usually it's true.
Yes.
No lie, dude. I used to tell my quarterback, I'm open. He said, but he was on the inside. Then throw it to the outside. I'm open depending on where you put the football where he's not, and I'm open. Yeah. It's not that hard.
Definitely.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's just like from the leader standpoint, it's just like, you got to control your team, get them all under control, and like make sure they're all like just focused. I am on winning the game and doing what's in front of us. So I'd say for sure just like that. Not necessarily him. Like I obviously calm him down too because he gets amped up. He wants the ball, thinks I missed him or whatever. But it goes both ways. But yeah, for sure.
What is your guys' go-to meal? Like dinner. I need a go-to meal, man. I gotta
go probably French toast.
French toast any time of the day. Lunch, dinner.
Anytime.
Have you ever had croissant French toast?
I don't think so. No.
Man,
I've never had that either. What do we
change your life? I'm telling you.
Change your life?
It's life changing. Yes.
Is it any kind of French toast or is it a specific French toast?
Man, strawberry banana, like anything. But like I'd say the IHOP like strawberry banana that special with like the hash browns and
I get the same. Actually, the exact same thing. And what about you? What's yours?
I mean I love all foods. My mom's a good cook, so it makes it easy. But I mean, she makes like the best sandwiches ever, no matter what it is. So I would say my favorite sandwich she makes though is a meatball sub. Like it's so good.
Wow,
they're huge. Like they're the best. They're the best. That's probably my go-to, my favorite.
Nice. Are you gonna ask the Marvel question or do I need to ask?
I have to because I'm 0 for like 5 here. All right, so we got. We got this thing we like to ask everybody when they come on. Are you guys familiar with the Marvel movies in the MCU?
Yeah.
So if you had to fight Thanos, what would your 3-person team be?
Oh, not including me or including me?
No, see, I love this dude. Like
including the Luna.
He's got the Kane swagger already. Not including the Ripley, the Lunas, because we won already.
Okay, I mean, that's tough. I'm gonna choose Thor, Superman.
Okay.
He.
You said just Marvel?
Just Marvel.
Is it just just Marvel?
Yeah. Thor. Oh, that's tough. Captain America.
He's not gonna say him.
Captain America.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh man, who's another one?
You got one more. You gotta get Thanos up out of here.
Oh, that's so tough. I'm gonna say
everybody picks Thor too.
Hawkeye. I mean, I don't know who else. That's
the Arrow guy.
Okay. Yes, Arrow.
Spidey got to get chosen over Hawkeye.
Dude, no! I just don't think. I don't think Spidey could fight Thanos, dude.
Listen, nobody's choosing Spidey. Like, all right, Rip, what you got, Rip? What you got?
I would choose Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero.
Let's go.
I gotta go with Spider-Man.
Let's go.
And then I'd have to go with Thor too. And shoot, I don't know. Is Groot the big tree?
Hey, you laughing?
I am Groot.
He's big, dude.
Groot is a problem. Yeah, Groot can do something.
Oh yeah,
I don't respect Spider-Man. This is
no. You know what? I'm gonna change my answer from Hawkeye to Hulk.
There you go. Okay. There we go.
I think Hulk's solid.
I think Hulk's solid.
See, I can't even pick Hulk because of what Thanos did to him, man.
That's not fair. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him.
Okay.
We've all had bad games.
Joe.
We've all had bad games and off days. Don't do that to Hulk.
Man, Hulk. Thanos knocked the Hulk out of Hulk. Like Hulk doesn't even want to Hulk anymore.
Man,
that's pretty bad.
It is. It is. Are you frozen, CB?
No, okay, I'm back. I think I did freeze first. We back. Yeah. That was it. See, I finally got a Spider-Man. Look,
I think you coerced the answer because you kind of.
I didn't.
Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, though.
Favorite doesn't mean he's going to save the world. Being the favorite doesn't mean he's going to save the world.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying.
Dude's elusive.
I think I had Thor, Iron Man.
Oh, that's true.
And Wanda.
Oh,
I mean, low key, I'm not picking Spider-Man either, but I'm not.
We have to win. It's not a
because I have to win. It'll probably be like Scarlet Witch, Thor, and hey, Hulk is leave him alone. Hulk is a good show.
Hulk's nice, bro. I'm telling you.
Come on, man.
He's not gonna come. He's scared of Thanos.
He need a pep talk. He just need a pep talk.
Yeah, he does.
There was no pep talk.
He doesn't even get mad anymore.
He needs a Mario pep talk. You know what his pep talk was? Hulk out. That don't work. play balling boys. Play Miami Hurricane balling boys for the Hulk. He gonna Hulk out. He gonna be green and orange this time, and we win.
His pep talk was we're getting our ass kicked, and we need
that. A good enough pep talk. He already got his ass kicked. He knows this. you gotta build him up, man.
That's true.
Yes. All right, cool, man. Hey, fellas, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time out to get on, man. What message do you have for the Canes fans, man? What message do you have for us?
Looking forward to working, and I can't wait to get there. So, I would say that I'm really excited to get down there. We're really excited to get down there, and appreciate all the support. Can't wait to play for you guys, and love y'all. Go Canes.
Yes, okay. Go Canes, man. We appreciate you guys, man. We can't wait to watch you.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Much, y'all.
Yes,
sir.
Have a good night.
See y'all.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh man,
the Lunas.
Some bad boys too.
Man. I love it.
Some bad boys.
Just when I hear young men say they love the game, you know what I mean, and they study the game, you know,
you can hear the passion.
You can just play. You can play, but it goes way deeper than that, man. You have to, when you say you love and this is a passion, like that should be it. Like that's number one. When you break down your time, it shouldn't be TV, video games, football, school.
Ball.
You know what I mean?
Ball.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
what I love too is, you know, we like to say there's a certain swagger at the U, right? You know, I like to bring back the T.I. phrase, no one on the corner got swagger like us. Mm-hmm. They are Canes, not just because they committed. You hear them talk. You heard Kolby say, I don't care who out there. That don't make no matter to me, boy.
Yeah. I'm a 5-star. I'm a
5-star, whether you put 4 or whatever. Ripley out here. I don't care who lined up. You heard him say, double team me, put the safety over the top. Work. It doesn't matter who against me. I like that mentality. I like that dog mentality that we don't care where we were from. It don't matter. Once they step on campus, all them stars gone. That don't matter. Kolby not gonna get to the line and go, oh man, he was a 4-star. I'm not gonna mix him up. No, he gonna get there and go.
Now, once you enroll, you a 0-star.
You're a Miami Hurricanes football player. Ain't no stars attached to that. You're just
ain't no name on the back of that jersey when you get there, man.
I got high hopes for both of them. They're well-spoken, educated young men with a ton of production in high school, man. And they're both big kids too, 6'3", 200. You know, they got the size on them. They got the frame where you know they're gonna add more muscle to that. I love that. I loved hearing their passion for the game. I loved hearing their why they do this. And when you ask them their why, they're like, because we love the game. Like this isn't, I don't do this because I like the clicks, for the stars, for the highlights. There was nothing superficial about their answer. It was ball. I love football. I play these other sports because I love football.
Yeah. And it's bigger than themselves. Like teenagers a lot of times are selfish, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And they understand, they get it early that it's not about me. It's about my community. It's about my family. It's about the fans, you know what I mean? And that's a great thing to have early, you know what I mean?
Because they easily could have said, like, this is our day. Like, us committing, this is our day. I want my family there, and it's us. They didn't have to, you know what I mean? They didn't have to include the community. That tells me, and they both said it, that they feel like they have a duty, you know what I mean? To not just to the people that believe in them, but to show the other kids on that football team, this is possible. Yeah. Like he said, no one ever thought they'd get a call from Miami. So now the dude that was backing up Ripley is thinking, oh, I'm going to be the next Rip. Like, oh, I'm going to be the next Kolby. There's a kid right now running routes in Idaho. Probably 11-year-old kid running routes going Kolby as he catches the ball. And then throwing up the U because now in his mind, it's possible. That's another pipeline. That's another pipeline area. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's dope, man. Shout out to Mario for going to Idaho. Shout out, man. Shout out to the Lunas, man. We appreciate you guys. We got a couple questions before we announce the winner of the gift card. Let's see what we got. This first question is from Brick by Brick 505. Shout out to Brick by Brick 505. Who are your top 3 Miami running backs of all favorites? So we talked about this a little bit last time. It's favorites, not necessarily the best. Okay. Who are your top 3 favorite of all time? Okay. What was this a question last week? But I want to get yours anyway because I want to hear you because I want to. I think I said for context, I said Portis, Cooper. I think I threw McGahee with Mike James as like my honorable because I love Mike James. Okay. Oh, that was my guy. Yeah. All right. So Edgerrin James, man. You know what I mean? Big five. That was my dude, man. Yeah. Edgerrin James was a damn problem. Willis McGahee. Willis McGahee was my guy, man. Willis McGahee was my guy. More recent, Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson was my guy. And I have to put an honorable mention, man. Listen, I know this guy is having issues or whatever. Mark Walton, man. Man, that was a bad boy. A problem. Hey, that number 1. That was a bad boy. As a matter of fact, I got his green Adidas jersey with the wing. I got that in the closet right now. I've always like, well, man, I thought he was a beast. Yeah, he was a problem, man. So those are my 3. And I guess I'll answer this because I wasn't here last week, man. Other than TVD, we didn't get into this one. Oh, we didn't. Okay. So other than TVD, Tyler Van Dyke, who was our most important player for the 2023 season. Panhandle Kane, salute to Panhandle. Shout out. Yeah, CB, who you got, man? Most important player for 2020. Let's do most important player on offense and defense. Okay, so I'll start with offense. I'd say our most important offensive player this year is our left tackle. Now I know that may be. I know that's a little vague, but here's why. Yeah. Here's what, because we stabilized the interior of the offensive line. Mm-hmm. Cooper, Cohen, Lee. Up the middle, we feel like we're strong. Maungoa on the right side, we feel like, we're strong there. We got to get that left side, that blind side figured out, whether that's kicking Cohen out, whether that's, Rivers. But I think that's the most important player for the 2023 season. We all know it's a big year for TVD. He needs a bounce back year. This is the year for him to put tape on for the NFL. And Shannon Dawson wants to air it out a bit. You heard Coach Kevin Beard. We are going vertical on people. Can't do that if your backside ain't protected. So I'd say on offense, it's that left tackle spot because I do feel like we've solidified the middle of our offensive line. The interior is solidified. We got some goons in there. Okay. And then on defense, I'm gonna say James Williams, and here's why. He may not be our biggest impact player on defense. We all know that's Cam. That's KK5. But James, to me, is the game changer. That size, that length, that physical prowess that he has. I think we need to see that really come to the forefront this year. And James gives Lance Guidry a weapon coming down and supporting the run, blitzing, playing the deep third. I think if we have him and Cam on their P's and Q's this year in the back end, that will help the corners, that will help the front seven. I think that last line of defense is really important for us this year. And a guy like James Williams, if he's clicking on all cylinders, I think that secondary will be a more cohesive unit. A lot of times last year, he was overcompensating for somebody else being out of place, which now made two people out of place because now he's out of place. Sure. In his mind and in his heart, he's got the right idea. He's just trying to, oh man, I see he's inside. He should be outside. I need to cheat to my left. But now you're out of position. So sure. I think this year, if James is healthy, he's got that shoulder healthy, he looks good. I think him being on his P's and Q's is vital for our defense this year.
Got you.
What you think, bro?
Go, on offense, man, I'm gonna say Don Chaney Jr. Not only because it's a bounce back season, and he has a lot to prove, but running back depth. You know what I mean? Behind Mr. Parrish, you got freshmen coming in. You know, so you got, you know, although we're excited for Mark Fletcher, we're excited to see CJ. You know, they're coming in the summertime. You know, and they are freshmen. Let's keep it a buck. You know, they are freshmen. It's important that Don Chaney have a bounce back season, man, and be able to get back to his, you know, pre-injury days. And I think he will. On defense, Leonard Taylor for me, man. We got to solidify the middle of the defense, man. You know, 2 tackles and a linebacker, straight up the middle, man. So we need Leonard Taylor to be 5-star Leonard Taylor, man. And, you know, just take over in there at times and do what he needs to do in there. Because as we know, that's also a depth, you know, lack of depth.
Yeah.
You know,
especially with size.
Unless we get some cats out the portal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Unless that happens. But as of now, you know, we got LT, we got Moten, JHH is still there, Lichtenstein, but you know, we need some more depth, man, and Leonard Taylor, man. So I
hope he gets more snaps this year. His snap count last year was he was off the field a little too much for me. I kind of hope that he gets a higher snap count this year. Because I agree with you. I think someone like Leonard and Moten, I think our defensive tackles are going to be crazy important because if our linebackers can't play freely because our defensive tackles are getting blown off the ball, that's going to be a problem. And then with the pass rushers we have, if you got a guy like Leonard or Moten that can eat up blocks, then you're putting Bain outside one-on-one with a tackle. You're putting Mesidor outside one-on-one. You're putting Cyrus Moss outside one-on-one. And those matchups I like quite a bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So we're coming to the end of the show, man. Let's announce our winners.
Let's go.
Last week's winners, man, for the gift card at Canesware. First winner, we got 904.
Yeah.
904 Hurricane.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, we appreciate you listening. 904. Blah. All right, second winner, Mr. Silent X.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So we're gonna put the graphic up on Twitter, man. You guys, if you don't have an account on the Canesware website. Please go register on Canesware, and they will get you your gift card. They'll add it digitally. Yep. Go in there. We have a keyword, man. Let's get a keyword. What's up?
Today's keyword, Luna.
Luna. I was already thinking it.
Luna. For them bad Luna boys. Because you can't spell Luna without the U.
Yeah.
Luna in the comments.
Yeah, man. All right, man. We good. We wrapped it up, man. Ben, man. We'll see you next. We'll see you, Ben. Ben had trouble today, man. My guy, though, man. That's my guy. He held it down last week, man. CB held it down last week. I salute y'all, man. I was actually kind of upset that I didn't get to join last week, man. I kind of missed
you. We missed you, man. We did.
Yeah, man. And salute to all the content creators out there, man. We love y'all, man, and we appreciate y'all guys doing your content, man. Let's keep grinding, keep this youth strong. Keep the connection strong and show up to these games and let's get these wins, baby.
Let's go, baby.
All right, it's all about that.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a 5-star review and leave a review and we'll read it out here on the show.
Yeah.
You know, I know some of you guys watch on YouTube. A lot of, you're at work. You can't watch the video portion. If you are watching the video portion, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, if you're on Spotify, Google Play, drop us a 5-star rating and leave us a review. We'll shout you out on the show and, get it popping that way. Every little bit counts.
Yes. Appreciate you guys, man. All right, man. Have a good night.
Peace. Good night, y'all.